God. I'm just going to come out and say it. Most people at the special needs car lot are overweight. And I'm not saying 15 pounds overweight, 20 pounds overweight. These people are not healthy.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'1", okay? I can lose 5 or 10 pounds. But I like to have a couple cocktails. But we do exercise and eat very well. And I try to make sure we get a juice pretty much every day, which is just frozen fruit and spinach and water.
Yeah. It's hard, it's funny when you said I'm just going to come out and say it, and I'm like, oh boy. But, man, I burnt my tongue on this jalapeno thing you made. I got a hot one.
I'm not taking the credit. It's Publix. You thought I made them homemade before.
They're really good, but I got to tell you, you know how it's like 1 in 5 jalapenos are like really hot?
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get.
Oh my God, I got a hot one. Like the end of my tongue is on fire right now.
That's the worst feeling.
Breathe in real heavy and to cool off my tongue.
They're good though.
They're really, really
jalapeno,
good.
cream cheese, and bacon.
Where you say you got them Publix?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good.
It's ready to go. Pop them in the oven.
Yeah, so we want to jump on here because we're going to talk about HypnoPedia, which is, am I saying this right?
HypnoPedia, yep.
Yeah, it's this crazy. We'll put a link in the show notes. Listen, this sounds a little strange, but there's some decent science to kind of back this up for kids with autism. And basically, let me get this right. So you have to wait for your kid to be asleep for like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, I thought it was 2 to 4.
Okay. And then...
And I think it's called REM sleep.
Yeah, you get into your REM sleep, that's like the real sleep, right? It's like rapid eye movement. That's what REM stands for.
Yes.
And that's like the restful sleep. It's the best sleep you can get. We don't get, like most of the time we're sleeping, apparently we're not in REM sleep. But I guess kids with autism and especially nonverbal, this is like an emerging, I don't know what you would call it, treatment or an emerging theory that your kids can hear you with 100% clarity while they're in REM sleep.
Yeah, it says when the child is sleeping, the words go directly to the unconscious. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Unconscious, which hears 1,000 times more than the conscious.
Yeah, and I think I knew years ago I was reading something. Some guy, he was like some ultra fitness dude or whatever, and he had this thing that would come on, like I don't know if it was his earbuds or his TV or whatever. And he would come on after he's asleep for 2 or 3 hours, and it would tell him how he's doing great and he's in good shape and he's gonna make good choices. And I think it was kind of like that whole secret thing.
Oh yeah, I liked that book.
No. Yeah,
this does say the REM sleep is achieved approximately 2 hours after they fall asleep. But the benefits of it helps balance emotional, spiritual, and physical energy.
So and I also read it's very calming to the kids and they really understand what the parents are saying. They're able to remember it. And I guess too, the parents, it also helps the parents because they feel like they're actually communicating with their kids in a way that their kids can absolutely, totally understand. The tough part about this is you've got to wait for your kid to be asleep 2, 3, 4 hours, which if you know anything about autism or special needs, I mean, either... it just doesn't really go that way.
Plus, at the end of the day, you're so exhausted.
Oh, my God, you're beat.
I cannot... Oh, my God, I can't do this.
I would like to talk to somebody who does it or has done it and really believes that it made a difference. Or talk to someone that's like, yeah, I did it, and I don't think it did anything.
I believe it works. I mean, you're supposed to do it in a soft tone and say all these positive things. I do believe it probably works, but I would be so scared that he would wake up. And then we have to do nighttime all over again, or he's just never going to go back to sleep.
Damn, I never thought of that.
And then I'd be up all night.
You're sitting there telling him how great he is, how much you love him, and then he wakes up screaming. You're like, why did I do this?
Or he wakes up and he's like, it's morning. And it's like, no.
Oh, yeah. Well, and he's going through such a night owl phase now where it's he's almost waiting for us to go to bed before he goes to bed. He's like, hey, if you guys are staying up and hanging out, I'm going to be up too.
Yeah. He did it last night. I'm like, I'm not even going to try to put you in your room right now. It's just not even worth it. So... when I'm ready to go to bed, I'll make sure that you fall asleep. I'll take you in your room, make sure you fall asleep, and then it's peaceful that way.
Yeah, why don't we do this HypnoPedia for each other? I think newlyweds, it should be something where you do that to each other. 1 week the wife stays up for 3 or 4 hours and tells the husband how great he is, and then the next week the husband stays up for 3 or 4 hours and tells the wife how great she is.
I'm not doing that.
And why?
Because
You just read you're 1,000 times more likely to
because I fall asleep so fast.
Oh,
I can't stay awake just to tell you how great you are.
Boy, you hit the bed, you're out. I've never seen anything like it. I wish if I could borrow one trait from you, it'd be that. I wish I could just lay down and fall asleep. It's automatic. I mean, I'm up for hours after I lay down. Hours.
That is pretty good.
And I don't believe in like I think like sleeping pills are really bad and all the sleep medicines, they're just really bad for you over time.
It is bad for you.
Yeah, so I'm like, nah, I just got to do this natural way and just, watch the fan turn, or I watch a documentary or something like that. But I don't know. But the HypnoPedia thing, here's what I'm thinking. The more I read about it, like, okay, so let's say it's not proven 100%, and really I guess nothing is, but that it makes a difference or whatever. What if it just makes you feel better? What if it's just calming and soothing and you just feel like, you know what? I feel like I'm peacefully communicating with my child who has a hard time communicating with me, and it makes me feel better. Like, what the hell's wrong with that? I think that's great.
Well, I think probably a lot of people would want to do that.
Yeah. Like, even what if it's a nap? And I know technically the REM sleep, 2 to 4 hours, whatever. But what if he falls asleep and after 15 minutes you just have like a great communication with him, like a great time, telling him how much you love him and how great he is and how you're proud of him and he's doing great, and keep becoming a big kid and keep smiling.
I think that's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I have said nice things to him when he's sleeping. It's just not 2 hours after he's asleep.
Right.
I haven't done the REM sleep, but I have said, like, I love you so much. You're such a good boy.
Yeah, and if the net of that is just that it makes you feel good, that you're peacefully communicating, and you enjoy watching him sleeping comfortably, I think that's awesome.
I will say that he's communicating pretty well now. But one thing that I think we're very good at, but I think maybe there's some other parents that aren't, just because they aren't responding to you doesn't mean they aren't listening. When they're awake, I'm saying. Like and that goes back to like having a lot of patience and not getting frustrated and stuff, because he is listening.
I just saw a lady on Instagram write that same thing, and she said, my husband and I have had to rewrite our rules because now we've realized that he is consuming what we're saying, and we've had to totally change the way we talk about him in front of him. Where she was like a year or two ago, it truly didn't matter. And it really doesn't matter earlier on in life. But you get in that habit, and her thing was specifically, we don't talk about his limitations anymore in front of him, because before we were. Yeah. And now she's like, I feel like it's affecting him. Like, he's like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. I messed this up. I messed that up. Which, like, you have to have those conversations with your partner, your husband, wife. Mm-hmm. You have to have those conversations.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing it in front of them at a certain age, I could see why that would start to make you feel a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, there's been times that even we kind of get frustrated, and it's like, why did you do that? Like, you can't respond like that, Because then he gets upset.
Even abruptly yelling, stop, or what are you doing? That's like, you can't do that anymore.
No, but we used to, every once in a while it would slip, because our other typical kids, that's how you speak to them.
Yep.
Even
still. Yeah. What are you doing? Stop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everything, even with this HypnoPedia, it's positivity, being positive, being calm. Soothing means patient, you know what I mean? So, like, you should also do that when they're awake.
Yeah. I just, the interesting thing with HypnoPedia is I just feel like that's something that could be really good for the parent. I mean, I don't look, there's so many theories. Like, you get on these pages and it's like, I don't know, there's people that get on there and they just write some stuff that's just like, you're just like, wow, you're crazy. Like, you're obviously nuts.
Like what? What do you mean?
People have like these theories about things.
Oh, yeah.
Just how about some things are just whatever, just about autism. They have these theories, and then they have like these ideas that it's like I appreciate you offering that stuff up and stuff, but it's just some of it's weird. This to me isn't, I don't know how you're going to prove that this has some type of, I don't know. I mean, all right, how can this hurt, right? Can't hurt. This can't hurt.
It can't hurt.
And I said, if nothing else, if the parent or the caregiver feels like, hey, I just feel better when I do this. I am positively communicating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great.
Then I'm like, cool. I think that's awesome. Like, I think you get something peaceful out of those 2 or 3 hours. What's wrong with that? Like, you don't have to walk away from everything being like, oh, I just minimalized my kid's autistic effects for the day. Like, you don't have to walk away from everything like that. So we live in that society where like we need to take the pill and feel better, you know?
Right.
Like you have to hit the button and the door has to open. It's just, I think with autism, like it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be, oh, I reduced his autism today by 45%. Like whatever that means. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. But it's okay to walk away from stuff in this situation. And I'm telling you, like impatient me, I would have never said this 2 or 3 years ago. It's okay to just walk away, I think, from a situation and go, I feel better. I feel better.
Yeah.
Like I just feel better about this situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scientifically, did you do anything? Biologically, medically? No, maybe you didn't. But guess what? I just feel better. And that's cool, right? I think it's cool to just feel better.
Well, and I do think the communication is different, especially like he's a 4.5-year-old, but he's like a 2 or 3-year-old. So I could see how that could make you feel better just talking like that and, being positive.
Yeah. It's like when the Dallas Cowboys lose. I just feel better. Like, I don't get anything
Everything goes back to the Dallas Cowboys.
I just feel...
But I just saw this meme and it's like, autism is not a disease. Don't try to cure us. Try to understand us.
Yeah.
And that's part of like doing this podcast is for anyone that doesn't understand autism or is learning about it or whatever, that's why I like to talk about it because this is inside our life and what we experience,
Oh, but I saw a crazy woman the other day on Facebook. Somebody wrote something about research for autism and they're doing all these studies with DNA and everything. And the person wrote, it was a page. It was like a husband and wife that have a page, kind of like us. And they wrote something about, they looked at all these diseases and they're like, they eventually found cures and therapies, everything. Oh my God, this crazy woman wrote back, how dare you imply that autism needs a cure? I mean, she just went crazy on these people. And I'm like, see, you're the psychopath that I'm talking about. These people are new to this. Okay, they are just trying to feel their way out. And you're like this militant freak who just couldn't wait to jump out of your Facebook page and ridicule these people. You know what I mean?
Well, and guess what? She probably doesn't even know anything about autism.
I don't know if she does or doesn't, but it's like she's obviously one of those where it's like she's waiting for that one word to trigger her. She's like the perennial victim. Like I get up in the morning to get on Facebook to see what offends me and I attack people on that. I'm like, she's like, how dare you imply autism needs a cure? She went on and on about, how autism kids can do this, regular kids can't do this, autism kids can do this, regular kids can't do this. And I was like, see what you're doing now, lady? Now you're dividing everybody. Now you're being nuts. And you're scaring off these people who have just come to social media to encourage people to keep giving to research because they really had great examples about other conditions that have been helped through therapies and medicines and everything like that. And I'm not pro medicine necessarily. I mean, that wouldn't be my first course of like, oh, you have a diagnosis, pump, the medicine. But there are therapies, and then there are some kids that down the road may need that. I mean, it's like, everyone's so obsessed with this. They just want one solution. We all have to see it the same way. And it's really a shame. Like, I read this hypnotherapy thing. Is that what
HypnoPedia.
HypnoPedia. I'm never going to get this right. And at first I was like, this is kind of weird. And then I thought to myself, well, who the hell am I to say this weird? If there's a mom who does this at night and she feels great and at peace, well, damn, girl, do it. I think that's great.
Well, especially if your kid goes to bed at like 7 and you can do it at 9 o'clock.
Well, I know. I think
He's
a lot.
Going to bed later.
I don't know. I think my mom was a single mom for a long time. And I think a lot about single parents going through this and how tough that must be.
Oh my gosh, that would be really hard.
We are tired. I looked at a picture the other day. It was on your Instagram. And if I was in the picture with you, this was, I don't know, 6, 8 months, 9 months ago. It was less than a year. I have so many more wrinkles by my eyes now. And I don't know why specifically. I know that this life, the way it's kind of lived us, has stressed us out. I read a lot more. I had to get glasses in the last year because I read so much more about this.
Yeah.
And my eyes just look tired. I feel like for the first time in my life, I feel like I am starting to look my age. And it's not a blame game. It's just the reality of our life. And I'm like, wow, this is starting to wear on me physically. it takes a toll.
Well, I just read something about that too. Like if you when you have a special needs child, everything, it does take so much out of you and you are drained.
Yeah.
And it was saying that you might be overweight, you might be too skinny, you might be,
Oh yeah.
It's some people's marriages fall apart. Some people get depressed.
I think, I don't know. We keep saying that's another podcast. It's another podcast. It probably is. But, I will say that special needs parents, just my observation. Oh my God. And if I ever wrote this and that lady that I was talking about on Facebook, she'd probably just send me to the moon. But I think overall special needs parents, I understand why, are unhealthy, in their diet, don't work out, have poor confidence, self-esteem, and we're, some of that stuff we're probably guilty of too. But the one thing we've never let this get to is our diet and exercise. Yeah. And I think the reason why is because we kind of one night were like, look, and this was forever ago, is if he doesn't have us, what's going to happen? Who's going to take care of him? His grandparents can't take care of him. They will not devote the time and the energy needed.
Well, honestly, they're not around enough to even
he doesn't really know him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know him. But who would? If we're not there. So we think about that. We eat very well. We work out every day.
Yes.
Now, this is not to say that we've got it all fit, because that is not the case at all. There are weekends where we acknowledge, hey, we probably had a couple too many drinks last night. He went to bed, the other kids went to bed, and we were just sitting there. And it's I call it healthy cocktailing, because we're actually talking about life. And we talk a lot about, things we want to do and whatever. And then we get caught up in the moment, because it's there's no chaos for a couple of hours.
Well, and I think we need that. And like we've talked about before, you want to be connected. You don't want me to go sit in the room and watch a show by myself and you're doing whatever you're doing by yourself, and then we're not connecting. I
have friends and I know people who that's their relationship, where it's yeah, my wife does her thing, I do my thing. I'm I don't know that I could do that. I would just be and again, that works for them. That's cool. But for me, I'm nah, I'm a social person. I kind of really need to be involved. I like the people. I like to be involved with people. I like to be talking. I love to talk to people. You know what I mean?
And we're going through, we talk a lot. So we're talking together, and then we end up talking sometimes way too late at night.
Sex lives of, I can only imagine special needs parents' sex life. It's probably terrible. It's just, because you just grow apart and you're depressed.
Well, not ours.
No, but but I think
great. Anyways, I'm just
listen
gonna
to this podcast.
I'm God, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Most people at the special needs car lot are overweight, and I'm not saying 15 pounds overweight, 20 pounds overweight. These people are not healthy.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'1". Okay, I can lose 5 or 10 pounds, but I like to have a couple cocktails. But we do exercise and eat very well. And I try to make sure we get a juice pretty much every day, which is just frozen fruit and spinach and water.
Yeah. It's hard. It's funny when you said I'm just going to come out and say it, and I'm oh boy. But you're
but it's the true fact.
So right.
If you go there and look,
it is. And I remember going to myself. I was doing something one day, and I was working out, and I was God, it was 100 degrees, and I think I just ran a couple miles, and I was doing a workout in the driveway. And this is like Tampa Bay June, Tampa Bay July, right? It's just, you're just drenched.
Yeah.
And I'm I don't need to do this crap, And then I thought to myself, you know what though? I do. This is healthy, and this keeps me going, and I need to be here for my kid. And by the way, this doesn't guarantee that you will. It just, if I get sick and then you have to take care of me, how are you going to do that? If you get sick and I got to take care of you, how am I going to do that?
Well, we're trying to make our bodies healthy from the inside out, right? I mean, that's helping your heart and everything that goes along with exercise. Plus, it really takes you in the moment that you're only focused on working out. It's 20 minutes apiece.
Yeah, and I think too, along with that, if you could eat a little healthier, if you could work out a little more, there's something too that increases your patience, I think, a little bit. You become more patient. You're more focused. Your senses are keener. You're just able to sort of consume the challenge and go, okay, I can process this. You know what I mean?
Well, and eating healthy foods in general do certain things for your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I do. I know this comes off as very judgmental, but it's just the one. And I'm sure a lot of those people that you're talking about, they do other things in life that we need to be doing. They're probably doing a much better job, of certain things. But when it comes to health and fitness and stuff, I've always said, people are like, well, time is the most precious commodity. And I'm like, yes, time is. But the only thing that really guarantees you time are two things. Number one is luck, right? That you don't get hit by the bus today.
Right.
The other thing is health. Health always gives you more time. It's usually why we die. It's either like tragedy or health. So if you get lucky and you avoid the tragedy, well, if you have good health, then you'll keep living. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I also understand what's like, I'm stressed out, and people find comfort in, a bag of Cheetos,
comfort
ice
foods,
cream, bourbon. You know what I mean? I get it. I totally get it. It's just that you got to figure out a way to jump out of that, because you've got like this huge responsibility that you didn't sign up for. I understand it. But nonetheless, it was kind of, the challenge was bestowed upon you. I mean, you got it. But you're right. That special needs community, I shouldn't say that, our special needs community.
Yeah, we don't know everyone else. We just know what we see.
Yeah.
So we're not making it up.
But overall, yes, you see like people, and I just go, my gosh, this person is carrying themselves. It looks low to me. Like they're carrying themselves low. They don't look good. They don't look happy.
Well,
like,
you know what?
I wonder if everything's okay. And then I think to myself, well, I understand though, because I feel low sometimes. Some days you just have a day, like he's having a great day today. Like he's just.
He had an amazing day yesterday.
I mean,
I don't
it's
know
like,
what's going on, but
we're
I'm
on
happy
a roll.
about it.
We're on a roll, right?
Yes.
But for some reason, I'm still stressed out about a bunch of different things that have to do with him. I wake up and I'm like, oh, what's going on? What's he thinking? Where is he? Is he happy? Is he healthy? Is somebody messing with him at school? Is he being made fun? You know what I mean?
We're always worried about something. But when you said they look low, they're carrying themselves like that, when I actually think about it, they actually get out of their car with their head down.
Yeah.
And they're just like kind of moving along to go with their kids, probably like what's going to happen next. And some of them have more than one special needs kid. And I feel awful for those people. I really do. But I will say that, I mean, it is a lot, like figuring out all the therapies and how your kid's going to act the rest of the day. It's frustrating. But if you can give yourself 20 minutes a day, even if it's just going on a beach walk. Or
I was just going to ask you, all right, so what just from one special needs mom to another, what would you say, like today is Sunday, so tomorrow, Monday is a great day to get up and just start something new. Like, what would you say to do? Like to build some confidence, to get yourself in shape, to get just feeling good about who you are, so then you can do good in your responsibilities and your challenges. Like, I like the beach walk.
Well, I do think that if you're working out, you just overall feel better. Your clothes are going to fit better and everything. So it's just that gives you confidence that you need. It makes you happier. Nobody that's overweight feels happy about being overweight, in my opinion. In my opinion.
I think you're right.
So, get on the floor and do girl push-ups. Yeah. I can do boy push-ups. I just do a lot of push-ups, so I just do girl ones, okay? Do push-ups and sit-ups.
I could not believe the Bucks game starts in 12 minutes, and I'm sitting here right now.
Do push-ups and sit-ups. And there is a girl on YouTube that I do like that you could do like low impact workouts or high intensity. Her name's Heather Robertson. And when I wasn't doing Zeus, I was doing that before. So they can probably do that at home with no weights.
I think too, I'm trying to think things that we did when we were like, okay, hey, we got to get real serious about our health because we need to be on Earth, right? Yeah. One of the things you can do, like if you drink coffee and you have cream, man, get the cream out of your coffee.
That's one of the first things I did after Cal was born. I did black coffee.
Do you know how many calories that saves you a week?
A lot.
Oh my God. The low carb thing is always great. Like they have low carb chips now. They have, I've just replaced all that crap with vegetables.
We don't do keto, but I do low carb. There's low carb bread. There's low carb chips, Quest chips, protein chips.
Yeah, but like if you just find a few little things to cut, you'd be shocked at how much better you'll feel. Like, just if you want to throw the whole weight thing aside and your clothes and how you look, fine. But just having less like sugar going through your system, carbs, like simple carbs, they're the bad ones, going through your system, you'd be shocked at how much just better, like more alive you'll feel. And then your sleep gets better, and then that makes everything better. And then I think you look a little younger, because that's what I said. Like, I am starting to, I look at pictures from less than a year ago and go, wow, like it's weighing on me. Not because it's unfair. I'm not saying it's unfair or whatever. I'm just like, I have really noticed myself age in the last year in my face. I could really tell I just look a little tired. and down maybe. I don't know. But it's just over a year, and that's pretty quick, when you think about it. It just, boom, I really notice a difference. But, but then I thought to myself, well, I try to drink I drink a gallon of water a day. We work out. We start our day off, not every day, but a lot of the days with a beach walk. We'll go down.
Try to, yes.
Yeah, and we'll do a mile on the beach with a cup of coffee. And it's great. Exercise aside, because that's really not that much exercise.
But if you could work out with your spouse, that also helps. Like maybe both people are overweight or a little down, and maybe you guys have to pump each other up.
Yeah.
Because we do.
Date night, the art of date night has been lost in the special needs community. I just feel like parents sometimes go to, this marriage now became a job. We're now counselors and therapists. So as far as us being attracted to each other or having a real marriage or relationship, we're trading that in, and now we're becoming therapists. Well, that's crazy.
You have to take time to yourself. I mean, you have to find somebody that you trust. And I'm very picky about who I pick to babysit my kids, but I always am able to find somebody. And I stick with that one person.
And even if, I was even thinking about this, even if it's to the point where it's okay, I'm just so scared to leave my child with someone because of their special needs. Mm-hmm. All right. Have somebody come over, somebody you trust that you think could do a good job, a decent job. You don't even have to leave your house.
Go in your backyard. Go on your driveway.
Go sit in your driveway, your garage, with a cooler of beer, and you and your spouse have a couple of beers or a glass of wine or a shot of tequila or a decaf coffee, whatever it is, and just pretend that you know what I mean? Just say, hey, we've got 2 or 3 hours. Let's not even really try to talk about what we always talk about. Let's talk about something else. Talk about some massive goal you have, or talk about something crazy or stupid or ridiculous, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Just do something that you otherwise wouldn't do, and try to do that once a week. You'd be shocked to how happy you'll get. Just even if you're only happy in that moment, it still makes a difference if you do it every week.
Well, and I think we can keep going on and on. I mean, it's easy to lose yourself. So let's end it here because football is coming. And we can talk about the rest of this stuff tomorrow. Marriage, goals, relationships, working on yourself. Because football's on. I mean, what's going on here?
We're 8 minutes away. I already feel like I've given up, and I'm whatever. I just feel like I still have to get a workout in, so I'm going to miss the first quarter. And so I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy about this right now. I didn't budget very well with my time today.
Well, I worked today.
What a pity party I'm throwing myself.
I usually take 1 or 2 days off a week of working out, so I always get in at least 5. But
you're missing today, yeah.
No, it's almost like a competition, and I think I'm going to go put my workout clothes on and do some burpees with you.
No, because then you're going to have to take a shower. It's going to take you...
Okay, fine. You talked me out of it.
Am I a good husband for doing that or a bad husband? Because I feel like you wanted me to talk you out of it. But then tomorrow she'll tomorrow she'll be like, oh, well, I was going to work out, and then you opened your mouth, and I didn't. And
okay, I did work out 5 days this week, so I think that's good. 5
days is great.
Yeah, I think it's good.
It's not 7, but I mean, it's pretty good.
No one's as good as you.
No, that's not. That's not true. I really, honestly, I get anxiety if I it is more mental for me. When I get it done, I feel good. I kind of tell myself the sweat that pours out of me is like the stuff that I've been worrying about, the stress.
You do feel better when you work out.
You do. And I really, honestly, I think I don't have a lot of, I don't know what my unconscious stress is. I feel like there's something there, but I don't know what it is because I do not have a stressful life. I don't. I have nowhere to be on a daily basis. I can pretty much call it as I want. I mean, we have the stuff with the kids at school and sports and stuff like that, but I don't,
Well, you do have school and you're working towards a goal.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I get up, tomorrow I got to get up and I got to read this case. This case for this law class, and I mean I'm excited about that, so I'm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't get up, the end of my career I got up and I worked for really the most horrible, wretched man in America, and I was so happy to get away from this clown, really, because he was just dumb and he was leading everybody to the edge of the cliff and convincing them that you didn't need a parachute, just jump.
Well, he's negative.
Well, he's just a loser, but I mean I don't so I'm trying to figure out what stress, but it all does go back to Cal, not him. It's just the situations around it.
What's going to happen today?
I know.
No, and then you get stressed out because I get stressed out. I'm already waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, but see, why? See, now that gets me stressed out because you're like, I'm waiting for something bad to happen.
Not something bad. It's just like,
oh, you're waiting for something great to happen?
I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, it's always a lot of work.
I know. There is the...
And I love him to death, okay? I do.
There's
it's
the physical labor
exhausting.
Of this, and then there's the emotional labor of this. Like, the physical labor is, changing diapers of somebody who's almost 5 years old and doing food a certain way just for him to throw it on the floor because it wasn't done right and you have to do it again. Then there's the emotional labor of worrying about all that stuff happening over and over again.
Well, I got home today and all he wanted for breakfast is an Uncrustable. So I got home today. He wouldn't eat lunch for you. Then I give him lunch.
By the way, the high chair table tray just went flying.
Well, then I gave him lunch and he didn't want it. Easy Mac, hummus and pretzels, broccoli. He doesn't want it. You know what he wants? Non-stop,
pizza.
Around the clock is pizza.
Yeah, we need
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm making a pizza for him every single day.
No, I need a pizza.
I have to have leftover pizza in the fridge at all times.
We need a pizza endorsement.
Let's do it.
I think in my last 2 years on the radio, I was endorsing Oprah Winfrey has a pizza line.
I was going to say that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Or oh, that's good.
I don't know. It says something in the...
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's great. Oh, whatever. But anyway, it's pizza. It is pretty good. And I was like, this is not bad.
So it was good.
And now I'm like, yo, Oprah, remember your old dog? I could use some pizza, girl. Hook it up.
No, I always have to have leftover pizza in the fridge because that's all he wants to eat.
And by the way, I went way back on our Instagram today, and that's how I was noticing the pictures of myself looking older and older. And there is a picture. He had to have just started eating, like he looked that young.
Yeah.
What's in his mouth? What's he holding?
Pizza crust.
A huge piece of pizza. I'm like, it's in your DNA. You love pizza.
Aww.
So and now his thing is pizza and French fries, and then he'll do Funyuns for breakfast. But what's strange is he also craves broccoli, blueberry, strawberry, hummus, cucumbers. So. Again, it's everywhere.
He eats healthy things too, but for his meals he wants pizza.
Yeah, and sometimes for breakfast it's pizza.
Yeah, and this is all of a sudden, but he asked for it and I give it to him.
And now though he's asking for help because he knows it gets our attention. Help me. And I said, "What, Cal? What do you want help with?" And he goes, "Pizza." And I'm like, "Oh, see, this is like the new thing. It's like, wait a minute. Just because you want pizza, that doesn't mean you need help. It's different.
The help
You're
thing
hungry for pizza." But you don't need help.
Right.
It's kind of like...
Help me.
Right. Can you imagine going into a bar and being like, help me. And someone's like, what's wrong? It's like, get me a beer. It's like, that's how crazy it is.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. Well, we said we do a 10-minute podcast, and like usual, we're at 30 minutes. So.
Oh, good.
Well, it was good.
Yeah, it is good.
It was good. I don't know why I keep giving out the social pages because I guess people just find it anyway. But it's on Facebook. The Daily Autism. That's the name of the Facebook page, The Daily Autism. Daily Autism.
Yeah.
The handle on Facebook is at The Daily Autism. It's so weird, the name of the page and the handle. And then Instagram, it's Daily Autism Podcast.
Yes.
Daily Autism Podcast. That's Instagram.
Alrighty.
All right, we're on to football. A quick workout. I'm going to do a quick chest workout and then football. And a couple of Busch Lights.
Who's winning today?
Well, yesterday all the home teams lost. Both home teams lost yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Is that right? Yeah, Tennessee lost and Green Bay lost. I couldn't believe it. So I am going to say that the Bucs will lose today against the Rams.
Oh.
And I also think maybe the Chiefs will get beat by the Bills.
Wow.
Yeah. I think this home team thing is I'm going to stick with the home team losing.
Alrighty.
That's my prediction. And guess what? If I'm wrong, I really don't care because I'm not, fans of either of these teams. I'm going to make it a great day. The kids are really excited about football. We're a football family.
We are.
And they just are so excited. They've been talking about this all day. So it's really cool. And then next week's championship game, so that'll be awesome as well.
Well, and something our kids really love that I think I'll keep doing after football season, and I probably already do, and I don't even realize, is I always put a spread of food out. So I always have a big veggie tray, a dip or two, and then whatever food we're going to have the rest of the day.
Yeah, it's always kind of a football Sunday at our house.
It's like a celebration every Sunday.
Well, Melissa's a really good cook. like really good cook. And so to the point where she honestly cooks too much food on Sundays. There's so much food. Like if you try to get in our fridge on Monday, you open it and there's stuff falling out everywhere. It's like someone's in the fridge throwing Tupperware at you. That's how fast it comes out. But you do these very creative, like you said, dips and dishes, and the kids now, the problem is they expect it now.
They truly expect it. And same thing on the weekends. At least one of the days, I do a big breakfast.
Yeah.
The same day, or the same way. like big. They love it.
Yeah, it's like almost like buffet style. Like you make all this stuff, and it's really cool. And the kids are lucky that you eat very healthy and you cook very healthy.
This is going to be a memory they're going to have forever.
Yes. Yes.
My mom always did big meals on the weekends,
Yeah, so it's and so even like you said, when football's gone, we still kind of do that. But that's like a family thing, where it's like everything, like the food hits the table or hits the counter at like noon, 1 o'clock, and the crock pots are fired up, and there's all these trays and everything, and then that's it for the rest of the day. They just kind of come and go as they want it.
Yeah, eat it when you want it.
Yeah, so It's pretty cool. As long as there's some beer in the fridge, we're all happy around here. The adults, at least.
I do always have a veggie tray, though.
Which is good, because instead of grabbing chips, they grab vegetables, and they'll grab veggies and dip.
Which I do have one more thing to say, just because I thought about it.
Well, I already missed kickoff, so go ahead.
Like when we go to neighbors' houses and stuff, or parties and stuff, I always typically bring a veggie tray, but that just made me think, and we can talk about this later. When I bring him, I usually have him in his wagon or something, Cal, and I'm so occupied with him that I can't really talk to anyone else. And I always leave thinking, oh my God, I'm really not a rude person. I just have to focus on him. I can't talk to anybody when I have him with me.
You know what's weird? And again, this is, I know we've said 5 times the podcast is over, but I don't do you even think that I don't even listen, or it just doesn't even hit me other people's BS?
Oh, no, I don't have time for it.
I mean, it's just like, I got to tell you, if you see all these memes like on LinkedIn and stuff, and it's like, I'm a fierce this, I'm a master this, I'm a guru of this and that. And I'm like, oh, y'all can take all that stuff and totally shove it, right? All of your motivational, just really, because I got to tell you, you get put into this circle. It's like, I mean, I see people, or I'll talk to people and they're BSing me about this or that, and I'm just like, yeah, I just move on. I don't even, I used to kind of be like, well, wait, da-da-da-da, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm not buying it. I just don't, it's like my body just says, ignore it, move on.
Yeah, it bounces off of you.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Well, we're trying to get through the day.
Right.
Every day.
Yeah. Or it's like, even when we go out and somebody, there'll be some drunk tourist at one of the tiki bars or something, and they'll try, and we're just like, we've gotten up and just left before. We're just like, yeah, you know what, man? We don't say anything usually. It's just like, we'll go move or we'll just cash out. It's like, and we say the same thing. It's like, you have no idea what our weeks are. I'm not going to sit next to you. You've been drinking 8 hours in the sun. You're a drooling idiot.
Ew.
And I am not going to spend my time and money
listening to your garbage.
To this crap. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, I got 5 kids. I could go home for all this.
Well, I said it. Recently we went somewhere and I'm like, I don't want to listen to this guy scream. We have, our house is so loud.
There were some drunk guys so obnoxious, and we're like, we're out of here, man. I'm just not doing your patience. It's not your patience, it's your tolerance. You're just like, I refuse to be a part of this right now. I'm out.
Yeah.
I just, I'm not donating my time at this place, which is supposed to be, I don't know, relaxing, rejuvenating, hell, just fun, and listening to this crap.
Yeah.
You're just not pulling this crap over on me. You're not getting it on me.
All right. We're out.
Are we really out this time? Or is there one more thing?
Well, I just wanted to say that. We could talk about that stuff later, but we got to go.
All right. So now we are out.